Welcome to Developing Lab Skills. My name is Dr. Beth Zielinski-Habershaw, and I'm Coordinator of Training for the Pharmaceutical Development Institute at the University of Rhode Island. Along with Rhode Island Bio and the Department of Labor and Training, we're excited to present this course to you. This course is intended to expose you to the essential skills necessary to work in a biotechnology laboratory. So what will we cover? We'll begin with etiquette. Etiquette includes laboratory PPEs or protective gear, such as laboratory coats, glasses, laboratory gloves, and also preparing your working station for safety, both for the experiment and for yourself. Then we'll discuss accuracy. Accuracy in the way of measuring volumes and weights. We'll move on to preparation. Preparation is the key for success, especially success of an experiment. Then we'll introduce you to some instrumentation that you'll commonly find in a biotechnology laboratory, such as pipettes, micropipettes, and scales. We'll move on to the importance of documentation. Documentation includes standard operating procedures, which is the rigorous, regulated document or type of document you'll be following in a laboratory. And then finally, we'll look at quality. Quality of your workspace, quality of the final product, and how that plays a key role in the establishment of a successful pharmaceutical, biopharmaceutical, or basic experiment. Now, how will we be doing this? We'll be doing this in the guise of making ice cream. So I'll be comparing making ice cream in the kitchen, using a typical ice cream maker in a kitchen environment, as compared to making ice cream in a laboratory and using a smaller setting and laboratory equipment and instrumentation. Now, the first item we'll cover is cleaning and monitoring. We'll talk about the essential role cleaning plays in not only cleaning your kitchen and making sure that there's not an excess of microbes, bacteria, viruses, mold, but the importance of cleaning in a biotechnology lab. And not only cleaning your workspace, but testing after to be sure that you've cleaned properly. That's monitoring. Then we'll talk about documentation and the differences between a recipe that you would follow in your kitchen versus a standard operating procedure or protocol that you would follow in the laboratory. Moving on to preparation, and as I mentioned before, preparation is the key to success. So preparing for making a meal or making ice cream in your kitchen is different from the process of preparing in a laboratory. Preparing in a laboratory is much more rigorous, and not only do you need to prepare your raw ingredients, but they need to be prepared in a certain way, and you need to prepare your workstation. Then we'll move into the actual act of making ice cream, and we'll talk about measurements in volumes and measurements in weights, and how you can normally do that in your kitchen using measuring cups. You typically don't measure weights. Some people do, but measuring cups and things like that, versus using a scale, micropipettes, serological pipettes to make those measurements in the laboratory. Then we'll look at the importance of mixing, which this is why we chose making ice cream for this particular example, because mixing is key for making ice cream, but it's also key for making solutions in the lab, such as buffers, cell media, and the importance of the rotations per minute of your mixing vessel will determine whether you have adequate mixing in order to formulate or produce your final product. And then we'll discuss packaging and quality. So packaging in the kitchen could be just covering your ice cream freezing bowl, throwing that in the freezer, but packaging in a laboratory is completely different. That includes quality control steps such as labeling, dating, putting initials, and also potentially separating your final product into smaller quantities, into appropriate packaging. So that all needs to be quality controlled. So how will we be doing this? We'll be showing you several videos of myself making ice cream in a kitchen setting and in the laboratory. We'll also have activities that you can participate in, and you'll also see videos from our own Pharmaceutical Development Institute laboratories, which we show you certain techniques. Now, one of the activities that I mentioned you'll be participating in is this micropipetting activity. It's fun, it's very informative, and it will test not only your ability to recognize the pipette and manipulate that pipette, but it'll also test your accuracy. So I hope you enjoy this course. I think you will. There are many videos, activities, and information that you will find useful to move from your present situation into a biotechnology laboratory.